What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Big day, big step in getting this thing on its own weight finally. So if you watched the last video, you saw me working my butt off on this thing to get it clean, and I need to get some paint on the bottom of this Jeep. I do live in the northeast of the US and we have some rust, so doing my due diligence to help preserve this thing for a little bit longer until I can do something about it. So in the last video, I'll link that in the card thing that's gonna pop up like right about now. I went to town cleaning up all this stuff in here. You can see we got some like surface rust. One of the main reasons I actually went with the back half is because the OEM cross member that goes across somewhere right in there was like super rusty, like really rusty, and it's very difficult to get to that part and clean it. So figured, what the hell, let me just do a back half. So then further on in the last video, I wire wheeled, I scrubbed the grease off, and came under here real good to the point where it's probably fine, but any of this exposed rust is just going to keep rusting, so I need to do something about it. Originally I had actually bought some Raptor liner, and I got it in blue, so I thought that would look pretty cool. But you have to be tricky about this stuff. I mentioned this in the last video as well. What you're doing here is creating a seal over the metal, and if you get a little pinhole or something and moisture gets in there, condensation even, without even going through puddles, you can get condensation behind this paint, and that's just going to literally hold water against the metal and rust it away. So one of the better options, it's a little bit more durable, a little bit more better for this application, is going to be epoxy primer. Eastwood makes this 2K epoxy primer, and it's actually in black already, which is super nice, so I can just leave this black if I want to. We'll see how it comes out. But this is actually like a two-part like epoxy where you mix the resin and the hardener. You pop this little pin here, and then this thing just sprays like a normal paint, but it's an epoxy-based primer. So that's going to really get into all the nooks and crannies of this undercarriage here, and the epoxy will form like a really strong barrier, probably comparable to bed liner, but a lot thinner. So the ideal conditions for this, according to the can, are 70 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit at 50% humidity or less. I don't have that here. I'm very close to the water, and it's March. So we got the heat in the shop cranking pretty high. It's not quite at 70 because gas is expensive. And then we got this little heat dish under here, and that's job is to heat up the actual metal itself. So although the ambient temperature in here could be ideal conditions, you want to make sure that you're not spraying warm paint onto cold metal, because you'll just make some condensation, you'll get water mixed there, it just won't, it'll bubble, won't come out right. I'm not expecting this to come out perfect, but I do want this to protect the tub for a while. I do have plans to go crazy with aluminum back here, but I want to get this thing on the ground. I want to get it driving. Let's enjoy it. Let's go wheeling, you know. So then the setup for the paint, I actually had this soaking in some warm water down here. This is just some warm water, not hot water. And if you set the can in there, it heats up the paint pretty evenly. And hopefully, by doing all these little silly steps, hopefully we'll get a decent product here. Whew. All right, I'm gonna get to it.
You were in the valley far from home, dreaming of the day you take your throne. We were driving around.
All right, here goes nothing. Nice and toasty under here. Paint's warm, air is warm. Taped off all the miscellaneous threads and poked some paper towels through the seat threads up here. Definitely gonna wanna wear a mask with anything epoxy based, because if that gets in your mouth or your lungs, it's epoxy, it's not coming off. Whew. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get some gloves on too. Normally I'm not one to complain about like fumes and stuff, but holy crap, this stuff is nuts. Definitely gonna need the door open. Holy cow. But one can got me a full coat. Got all this all underneath. I think it's gonna look pretty sweet. Whew, all right. That stuff was like, the fumes from that are intense. So I got 2 garage doors open right now to get all the air out of here. Got the heat lamp back on there. And once you mix this stuff up, you only have 48 hours. So hopefully, I didn't miss too many spots. One can covered the whole thing. Second one for touch-ups. And I don't know, we'll see how it looks in the morning, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be all right. All right, guys, welcome back to another video. We have a very special day. Today is going to be the day that everything goes back underneath the Jeep and this thing gets taken off the jack stands. I'm so unsure if I have everything together, but anyway. Came down here last night and I hit the frame with some Steel It. Came out super nice. It looks weird in the shadows right now. But I'll give you guys a look at that epoxy primer that I put on the other day. Came out super nice. Everything is definitely well coated, and it's like a nice, it looks kind of rough because of some of the stuff that's under there, but it is really a nice, like, smooth finish, and I'm pretty confident that that's gonna hold up a little bit better to like the dirt and rocks and stuff getting flung up at it. But like I said earlier, I do have plans to like do some crazy body work, but I want to get this thing on the ground first.
The silence keeps a secret, but I'm afraid.
So I'm kind of waiting for some more paint to dry, and I'm always looking for extra stuff to do. So I'm actually going to use the rest of that epoxy primer on the links here because they got scratched up, and the epoxy primer has a pot life of 48 hours once you crack it. So I figured I might as well use it, give these a more durable finish. And then this right here is the I don't know what you'd call it. It's for the e-brake that mounts underneath the body. So give this a quick sand. I'm gonna hit this with the epoxy primer as well. And I'm just gonna work on cleaning up as many things as possible before I start shoving stuff back under there. Whew, wow, all right, so the battery's just about dead, but look, we got everything in place. We actually did get everything on the ground, and well, I'm gonna need some new springs for these coilovers because they were ridiculously stiff. Like, I think I had a 14-inch travel coilovers. I think I had like 12 inches of shaft showing. So we took the springs out. I got some measurements for my body cut, and I'll work on that. And for now, I'm probably just gonna have to hit up AccuTune and see what kind of stuff we can do with these springs. Battery's really dead, so I'm probably gonna go eat lunch, and then I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.